Welcome back, Latinas in Transformation. We are so excited that you are here. And thank you all in advance for submitting your questions on Instagram, on YouTube. So you guys get to know us a little bit more. So we're so excited to dive into this episode because this is a get to know you little Q&A session with me, Tati, and Lupe. And we're going to dive in deep on all 4 questions. But before we get started, again, we just want to remind you all that if there are any type of celebrations or wins that you are experiencing throughout the week, that you want to be recognized, you want your stuff to be put out there and for us to cheer you on and be your biggest cheerleaders, send that over, please. We definitely want to recognize you guys because this is the year where we want more of us Latinas practicing that celebration mode. We want to be able to acknowledge the milestones that you're hitting, no matter how small or big they are, right? Because again, in my personal opinion, there's no such thing as a small thing, but we want to recognize you. So please send us a DM on Instagram if that is what makes you feel comfortable. On YouTube, please go ahead and put that on the comments and we'll go ahead and read those over. So that way we make sure we shout you out. And remember too, if you're not comfortable with us sharing your name, it's completely anonymous. So again, the whole point and intention is to celebrate you and to just for us to keep going, okay? We're gonna keep
Stay
going because it's
lit.
our year. Yes.
Stay
It's our
lit.
year, yes. But we're gonna go ahead and get started, ladies, with our amazing questions. This is gonna be so fun. I hope you're all ready for the tea. Um, all right. Question number 1 is what are your rising sun and moon signs? Who wants to
I
go?
think you go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to read mine so that you can really understand who I am.
Love it. Getting deep.
So I am a Leo sun, Cancer rising, and Virgo moon. So how do I show up in the world? So as a Leo sun, it says your core identity is vibrant, confident, and creative. You have a natural charisma that draws people to you, and you're likely a leader or someone others look up to. You shine when you're expressing yourself authentically, whether through your work, passions, or relationships. However, this placement also craves recognition and appreciation for your efforts. So being seen and valued is key. This is so important because
See.
I really do feel that way. Okay, Cancer rising. This is the energy you project outwardly, and it softens the boldness of your Leo sun. You likely come across as nurturing, empathic, and approachable. People might feel like they can trust you immediately because of your caring and protective nature. You are deeply attuned to the emotions of others, and this makes you an excellent healer, friend, or mentor. Your rising sign also suggests a deep connection to your roots and a longing for emotional security. I was like, oh my gosh, mind blown. It's so funny because when people meet me and they ask me what I am and I say, "Oh, I'm a Leo," people are like, "Oh my gosh, you're a Leo. You don't seem like a Leo." And this makes so much sense because that I don't present myself as a Leo, and I feel like Leos also get a bad rep. But I feel like yeah, the energy that I'm putting out is more of like that Cancer energy, which I feel like this is exactly what people say to me all of the time. Like especially my clients, obviously, they're like, I just feel so safe with you, and like you immediately made me feel safe, which is like so nice to like get validation in this other way. Cause I think hearing it from different sources, I think makes it more real, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
No,
for
1000%. I mean, that was spot on. Like
sure.
you so far. So, no, and it is true to get that, I guess, confirmation, right, of what people tell you on top of the descriptions that you're getting. It's mind blowing because sometimes we forget along the way. So it is a great reminder to just be, again, confirmed with what we are, who we are, and how people see us, and that we're in, our most aligned paths as possible.
Totally.
Totally.
I
Okay,
love
and
that.
Virgo moon, your emotional world is grounded, analytical, and focused on self-improvement. While your Leo sun wants to shine, your Virgo moon ensures you're constantly striving to grow and refine yourself. This placement means you feel most comfortable when you're organized and in control of your surroundings.
Makes
And
sense.
then it says you might be prone to overthinking or being overly critical of yourself, but it also gives you a sharp intuition and a strong ability to help others through practical solutions.
I love that. That
It
is
is
so
really
good.
nice. I
Yeah.
do feel like I am very analytical, but in like a I don't I'm definitely not self-critical or I wouldn't identify as an overthinker, but I think I'm more of like a self-reflector where I like to like reflect on things. So I feel like that definitely describes like my inner world,
Yeah.
which is really cool. And
Yeah.
then so like I'm by the way, for like those of you who are listening, I'm reading this off of ChatGPT. The prompt that I put in was as a Leo sun, Cancer rising, and Virgo moon, tell me what this says about how I show up in the world and what I need to feel my best. So that's how I show up in the world. And then what you need to feel your best. Um, Validation and creative expression. As a Leo sun, you thrive when you have opportunities to be seen, appreciated, and celebrated. Whether through work, hobbies, or relationships, expressing your creativity is essential. I would
Mm-hmm.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Number two,
Definitely.
emotional security and connection. Your Cancer rising means you need a safe, supportive environment where you can retreat and recharge. Strong emotional bonds with loved ones are vital for your well-being. Number
Mm-hmm.
three, structure and routine. Your Virgo moon craves order and a sense of purpose. You feel best when you have clear goals, a tidy environment, and the ability to problem solve or improve systems. Taking time for mindfulness and self care is essential to counterbalance tendencies to overthink or overwork. And number four, balancing heart and mind. You have a mix of fiery passion, watery emotions, and earthy practicality. To feel your best, you need a balance between listening to your heart, nurturing your emotional needs, and staying grounded through logical thinking and structure. And then it says, in short, you show up in the world as someone both warm and approachable with a natural ability to lead while deeply understanding and supporting others. To feel your best, you need space to shine creatively, emotional safety, and routines that support your growth and peace of mind.
I love
That
that.
is who I am.
There's a lot of like listen to your heart, and I think
Yeah.
that that's so funny because you listen to your body a lot.
Mhm.
So, I think that's perfect. That's you.
Spot on so far.
Yeah.
And even just getting to know you, personally with that sense of security and all that stuff, I definitely see that being a big priority for you and just like for us too, right? To help each other out because this is such a great question just because we're not only just getting to know ourselves, but then this gives us the opportunity to support each other in
Mm-hmm.
different ways. So I really love this question so far and I love that
Mm-hmm.
description.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank
Yay.
you. Who's next?
I can go next.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, I'm a Sagittarius sun, Aquarius rising, and Aquarius moon. So, as a Sagittarius, I embody the archetype of the seeker, craving freedom, adventure, and personal growth, always. Your enthusiasm and optimism are contagious, also, I've heard. And you likely inspire others with your big ideas and expansive mindset. Always. I'm always like, how can we better this? Truth is a core value. You speak your mind and aim to live authentically.
Yeah, she
Yup. Amen. If we're not on the same page, goodbye.
does.
Aquarius rising, you present yourself as someone innovative, forward thinking, and slightly unconventional. Whoopsies.
That's like your rebel self that you
Yes,
always talk
exactly.
about.
That's exactly. That's what I'm like,
The
whoopsies.
Aquarius is the rebel.
Yes.
Um, Others see you as a humanitarian or someone deeply invested in making the world a better place.
Yes,
That's
you
true.
are, ma'am.
They're like, you're so sweet. And I'm like, really? Your approach is detached but caring with a strong focus on individuality and collective progress. Definitely.
Yeah, I could see
Detached but caring. Yeah, because I'm very I'm not there yet, but I'm gonna go along with you, and then we'll see. Yeah. And so Aquarius Moon, I'm emotionally, you value independence and intellectual stimulation.
that.
Totally. If we can't have a good, juicy conversation, no me inviten. No, I'm kidding. I'm
I love
kidding.
that.
Um, you process feelings through a logical lens and prefer to keep an emotional distance until you fully trust someone. That could not be more truer. Like, yeah, like I'm very, very hello. I think that's where my analogies always come from because I'm always like logical thinking and then like we'll
Mhm.
hit the brakes on the emotional part right now and then hit the gas when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Your inner world thrives on authenticity, unconventional ideas, and strong connections with like-minded souls.
I mean,
Look at that. In order to feel my best, the first one says freedom and autonomy. Both Sagittarius and Aquarius crave freedom. You need space to explore your passions and make your own decisions without feeling restricted.
mm,
Totally. Like, don't tell me what to do.
Love that.
let me, and that's always been the thing with me. Like, I just want to be free. Like, let me figure it out. Let me fall. Let me, like, yeah, it's gonna hurt, but it's fine. I'll get back up.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mental stimulation. Engage with topics that challenge your intellect and inspire your visionary nature. Learning, teaching, and debating energizes you.
Oh,
That is
I
interesting.
didn't
interesting.
We
What?
can
Do
do
you agree?
that.
debating. I think, and I've said this before, I feel like I'm always like the mediator sometimes where I'm
You
like
are.
trying to bring all these ideas together. So I think for me, that's the debating part where I challenge myself to like, how do I make it
You're a
all fit?
conductor.
Oh, that's right. I'm a conductor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Meaningful connections, absolutely. Surround yourself with people who respect your individuality, share your desire to create meaningful change. Seek deep, unconventional friendships and community bonds. Totally. Like,
Mm.
that's so important to me. And that's definitely what makes me feel better. Like when I meet with you guys, I've said this, like I come off these calls very inspired, very energetic, and it's because I can resonate with you ladies. So totally.
Mhm.
A sense of purpose. Pursuing a mission or goal that aligns with your values is essential, totally. Whether it's helping others, exploring the world, or championing a cause, you thrive when you feel like you're contributing to the bigger picture.
Aw,
Mm.
It's true.
that is
It's true.
you.
Yeah, that's me.
Mm.
Balance between freedom and grounding. With so much air and fire energy, you may get carried away with ideas or feel restless. Totally. Burnt out, that's me. To feel your best, create grounding rituals like journaling, meditating, or spending time in nature to anchor yourself. And
Yes, we've
I'll
talked
talk
about
more about that
crazy.
in the
Yep.
next question because yeah, that's totally true. So basically, this reflects someone dynamic, intellectual, and freedom loving with a strong need for self expression and purpose.
Mm.
Trust your unique vision and embrace your ability to inspire change while honoring your emotional need for independence and space.
I love that.
That's
I
Wow.
love
me.
that. That's so good. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So freaking
I'm
good.
keeping these as mental notes.
Same, 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 same. Now we
Remind me
know.
of my
We got it.
purpose and I'll thrive.
I was gonna say that,
Yes.
and to give you space when needed, so you can
Yep.
reground and just allow yourself to really just be in your element. That's
Uh-huh.
great. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
love freedom. You cherish
Yeah,
that. So I think that's
definitely.
important. And
Mm-hmm.
authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Definitely. Very
Yeah.
Kind of goes
authentic.
back to our
One of our
values. Pay
values.
attention. I was gonna say, yep.
And I think for anyone who can resonate with that, or they're like, how do I like show up for myself more? I think for me also reading all this, it doesn't come easy to be quote unquote different, right? And
Mhm.
wanting that freedom isn't a bad thing. It's just honoring what you need and who you are. And it's taken
Right.
time because sometimes it's like, why don't you want to hang out with me? Why don't you want to be with me? And it's like, no, it's not that I don't want to, is that this is what I need right now. And
Mhm.
it's so fun to read that that's exactly who I am, because I knew deep down that's what I
Yeah.
need. So anyone listening who can resonate, like, honor that. Don't think of it as something that you're pushing people away, but more so you're filling your cup.
I
Mm,
love that. I
good
love
reminder.
that.
That's a
Yeah.
good one. Yeah. Well, I'll go next.
Yes.
So, um,
I feel like I should be writing all of this down.
right. Luckily,
Taking
it's
notes.
recorded, girl. We can always go back to these notes, you know. But for me, I am an Aries Sun. I am a Virgo Rising and a Leo Moon. So what does an Aries Sun mean? So this is like who I am at my core. You embody a bold, confident, and pioneering energy. Aries make you assertive, enthusiastic, and unafraid to take the lead. You have a natural drive to initiate projects and explore new paths, often inspiring others with your courage and passion. Y'all, that is
Mhm.
100% true. I pivoted in my life so many freaking times. I love to lead. That's just part of my nature, and I love that so far. At your core, you thrive when you are pursuing personal goals, embracing independence, and staying true to your adventurous spirit. Yes, that is true. I'm very independent, and I love my adventurous spirit. So far, so good. Yes. Okay, so
Yes.
that's me as an Aries. Virgo rising is the outer personality. So this is how people perceive me.
Mhm.
To others, you appear grounded, detail orientated, and highly reliable. Virgo rising gives you a practical edge, balancing Aries' boldness with a more methodical, thoughtful approach. People may see you as someone who is organized, thoughtful, and eager to help, but with an underlying perfectionist streak. That one hit because I was like, I struggle with perfectionism a lot.
Mm.
You likely notice details others overlook and take pride in doing things with precision. And guys, I mean, ladies, that is not wrong. If you come into my home, it's very detailed, it's very clean, everything's in order. And I thrive when things are like that. And I love organization and I love making sure that all the fine details are
In place.
there
Mhm.
just so things can flow easily. I feel like that definitely has been me so far. And she does balance my Aries, so thank you, Virgo. But I definitely have to say that I have to give myself a lot more compassion because of that perfectionism. But we'll
Mm.
we'll bounce back to that part. My Leo moon, my emotional needs is deep down. Your emotional needs are tied to self-expression, recognition, and creativity. You feel happiest when you're appreciated for who you are and what you contribute. It's
Mhm.
so true. It is true.
Yeah.
Leo brings warmth, generosity, and a strong desire to shine. Your inner world thrives on passion, joy, and connection, especially when you can share your talents and heart with others. That's so true. That's what we want. That's all we want. Yeah, no, I'm really big on that. I feel like I've known this for a really long time, and I think about like 6-year-old Edie's where she's like,
Mm.
I love my independence and I just want people to love me for who I am. That's all I want. And if I can get that, that's enough. And
Mhm.
I still stand by that. I feel like
Mhm.
that resonates. Um, so what do you need to feel best at your best? Balancing independence and support. Aries energy craves independence and action, but your Virgo rising reminds you to stay grounded and practical. Boo!
Yes.
That's
The
so
balance
funny.
between pursuing your goals and organizing your daily life is key to avoiding burnout. And guys, I can't. That one I struggle with so much, whether you know this or not. Like because I want to do it all, and I'm super independent. And when Virgo brings me down and grounds me, that's like my tug of war
Mhm.
inner critic me. Like I go back and forth a lot. So I'm still learning how to balance that because I have seen the results of that with burnout and I don't like it. So just seeing this reminder, I'm like, okay, even though I said boo to the poor Virgo side, but I'm like, it's a good balance because I definitely don't want to burn out. So it's a good reminder for me. Recognition and creativity. Your Leo moon needs space to express itself creatively and to be seen for its uniqueness. Whether it's through art, leadership, or heartfelt connections, being acknowledged fuels your emotional well being. It's true. Calm and routine. Virgo rising means you likely feel at peace when your life is organized.
Nah.
True. It is true. Clear routines, healthy habits, and a sense of structure helps you avoid stress and overthinking. And if you guys saw my calendar right now, it is organized to the T. I like structure. For the longest time ever, I used to deny that part of myself because I'd be like,
No.
no, I'm the most flowy person ever. I'm spontaneous. I don't want to seem like the uptight one. But no, I've come to now accept that I am a structured person. I thrive with structure. I love it. And it helps me stay, you know, grounded in so many different levels. But yeah, for the longest time ever, I used to deny it. I was ashamed of saying that I was that type of person because I just didn't like the negative connotations that came with it sometimes, but I embrace it now. But it is true. I do need organization. It's so nice.
I think we all need it, but I think
Yeah.
we can also like still go with the flow, even when you're organized.
That is so true. Yes,
Mhm.
it is very, very true. Because I think that's where my Aries side comes in, where she reminds me to go flow, independent, do the thing. It does not matter. But I have noticed though, when I do let Aries take over, it does not bring a lot of balance into my life. I feel like it goes like
Gotcha.
this, and then that's the leading of burnout and all that for me. But I have learned to be flexible. I think that's the better word for me,
Mhm.
flexible, instead of
I
going
like
with
that
the
word.
flow. I'm
Mm.
more
That's good.
flexible now.
Mhm.
So the other one is adventure and purpose. Aries loves a challenge and thrives on excitement. Yes, I do. You need regular opportunities to take bold steps, try new things, and pursue goals that feel meaningful and inspiring. All the time, all the time. Appreciation for your efforts. Both Virgo and Leo enjoy recognition, but in different ways. While Virgo rising seeks acknowledgement for your dedication and effort, Leo moon craves emotional validation and admiration. Surround yourself with people who celebrate you. Y'all, again, this makes a lot of sense. If you've been following my journey on my page, I was intentionally Edie's, and for the longest time ever, I did like celebrations every Friday for people, and I had Cheers to Healing. It makes a lot more sense, like with what I do
Mhm.
and why I do it for others. So a lot of this just makes sense. But in summary, you are a dynamic mix of fiery enthusiasm and earthy practicality. You show up as someone who is both courageous and detail focused, capable of leading while staying grounded. To feel your best, nurture your needs for independence, creativity, and structure. Seek balance between action and rest, and ensure you're appreciated for your unique contributions and talents.
I
Yes.
love
We
it.
appreciate you just the way you
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny because I feel like that as a Leo, right? Like I've always struggled. Like I feel and this I feel like for the longest time I've thought it was like my trauma and because I've never ever ever received like recognition or like celebration like people in my life do not celebrate me and I've always thought it was because of my trauma that I craved it, but like it's literally like who I am. Like even if I did get that, right? Like I would still crave it because it's part of being a Leo, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like that gave me a little bit of relief because I always felt like I was always asking for too much. I always felt like, wow, nobody in my life celebrates me. Nobody in like, I don't get that. Like, am I asking for too much? Right. But then, like, now I'm like, no, it's such a big relief to know that that's like something that's a part of me. Like, that's how I thrive. I thrive through like getting admired and
Right,
praise and
right.
recognition and not in like a look at me kind of way, but more of like
Yeah.
a, I want to be recognized for like, what my efforts.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I
Yeah.
agree. Like I think even earlier this week I was having a situation which you ladies know about, but I was like, do I just run away from things or do I have like trust issues? And it's not that, it's that I really truly just keep the distance until I feel like I'm comfortable to come back to it. And I too thought it was because of my past trauma and my past situations, but I'm like, no, that's just who I am. And I'm just very like I protect my energy very much, and it's just because that's just who I am.
I love that. And to kind of piggyback on both of you, I thought about the five languages of love, if I hopefully I said
Mm,
it right.
yeah.
But I feel like that's a big part of me because when I took that assessment, words of affirmation and act of
Mm,
service is huge, right? So being recognized for the things that I do because of my Virgo rising and to be told like you're amazing just the way you are is the words of affirmation. So there's a lot of synchronizations right now where
yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is makes a lot more sense. Again, this is what I just need and accepting that, which is a new season of my life that I'm learning to do more and more of is that self-acceptance versus like you guys said, maybe in the past I would have said like, no, I'm being too much because I felt the same way, Tati, where I'm like, maybe what I'm asking for is too much. I shouldn't be asking for these things. I don't want to seem too needy or not feeling like I can provide that for myself. But it is nice to know that that's just a form of loving someone and to really acknowledge and recognize the person for who they are in their essence and being
Mm-hmm.
okay with accepting it as well, right? Because again, as I read that description, there were things that I thought of my old self to where I'm at now, where I'm like, ugh, I used to like cringe at my Virgo side for the longest time ever. But now I'm like, but that's part of me. And I think that's a beautiful thing that they all work cohesively together to make this Edie's,
Mm,
you know, as a
mm,
being.
mm,
So it's nice to be able to just
mm,
look at this as a guide, accept
mm.
what resonates, and just be like, wow, like moving forward, like this, it doesn't mean I have issues or there's a, you know, something wrong with me, but it's more of this is who I am in my essence. And that's a beautiful thing. And now I know how to support it better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
absolutely. And that's
love
what I
it.
was saying before with the freedom part. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with you if that's who you are. Like, don't let the society standards or the cultural standards
Correct.
define, like, oh, you're supposed to be with the family right now. But if you're not, your capacity isn't there because that's just not who you are, then you
Correct.
embrace who you are at the moment and then you come back to it. Like, it's okay to be you. Like, we're all different. And
Mm-hmm.
when you accept who you are and what you're capable of, it
Yeah.
becomes easier to understand others too.
Mm-hmm. And it allows you to
1000%.
walk with more alignment moving forward
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
where you're supposed to go,
Hmm.
right? I think
Hmm.
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing because
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, again, for those of you who probably do or don't know my story, like I've definitely pivoted many times in my life, many times. But it's nice again to
Yay.
be able to accept that part of me, knowing that that's the pioneer energy that I carry within me, and just to be okay with it. And
Hmm.
that's how we
Hmm.
do, yeah, that's how we keep growing. So,
Yes.
yes, but awesome. I love learning that about each and one of you. So I'm gonna be going back to this recording every time so I can make sure that I'm always being in tune with y'all. The next question that we do have is about our human design. So what is y'all's human design?
I'm a manifester,
Hey, go for
Which
it,
makes
Lupe.
sense. It
which
makes sense
makes
because
sense.
you're always talking about how like you always like to do like different things. It just
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, I'm a projector, 3-5. That's the profile number.
I'm also a projector. Do we want to read our things
Yeah,
or okay.
I'm down. We can read that. Lupe, you go first. You start off. You're like manifester. I'm
I
like,
know, yeah.
Because when I first did it, I've always wanted to be like, oh, I'm gonna manifest this. I felt like I'm not a good like putting things out into the world for it to happen. So when that came back that I was a
Mm,
manifester, I was like, how? But okay, so manifestor energy type. It says here, I'm a trailblazer. Manifestors are here to initiate, create, and start movements. Hell yeah. I will change
yes, you are.
Dakota. I'm like, do it this way. So what if they say that? I don't care. You're a natural leader who thrives on freedom and autonomy. Hello. Magnetic
Again.
magnetic aura. People sense your power and ability to forge new paths, often feeling inspired or even intimidated. Oh,
Ooh.
by your presence. Oh,
Mm.
I don't know.
We're not intimidated. We love you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Thank you, thank you. Independent and innovative. You work best when you follow your own creative flow without restrictions or excessive oversight. Yes. Don't tell me
Yes.
what to do.
Yes.
Like, guide me, sure, but at the end of the day, I stick to like what I like and how I feel. And it's not to be rebellious, it's just what sits well with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then impact driven. So you're here to make an impact. When you honor your urges and take bold steps, you align with your purpose.
I
Mhm.
love that. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my profile was 6'2". So 6, it says role model. Your life unfolds in 3 phases. And I knew this already, so that's why I'm
Okay.
laughing. Um, experimentation from 0 years to 30 years. I'm learning through trial and error. So technically, I'm out of this phase. I'm in my second phase of observation, 30 to 50
Mm.
years. So I have another few years to go. A time of reflection, stepping back and integrating your wisdom. Ooh, that
I
resonated.
love that.
Like
And then
that.
my third phase would be embodiment, 50 plus years, fully stepping into your role model energy, inspiring others through your lived experience.
I
People
love
see
that.
you as someone wise and trustworthy, looking to you for guidance and inspiration. I
Oh,
see that.
wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love
And
the
then my
breakdown.
and then my 2 is my hermit, which goes back to freedom, let me be, give me time.
That
I
Aquarius
have
energy. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I
Yeah.
have my hermit moments. Indeed, I can confirm. You have a natural gift or talent that feels effortless. Others often recognize this before you do.
Mm.
Aries and Tati.
Yeah.
You
Sounds
need,
about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You need time alone to recharge and tap into your inner genius. Balance between social interaction and solitude is key.
Mm.
I learned that the hard way. When I burnt
Yeah.
out, I was like, why? It's almost like you're forcing something, but your body's rejecting it. And you're like, well, what's wrong? But it wasn't until afterwards that I was like, oh, it's okay to want to be alone and
Yeah.
cancel plans. Like, it's okay. While you value your privacy, your presence naturally draws people in, creating a dynamic of being both sought after and needing space.
Mm.
And then it talks about, because I also asked it like the same prompt, like what you need to feel your best. And I'll just say like the things it said. So it said freedom to initiate, rest in space, clear communication, supportive relationships, hence you ladies, patience with your life path. Ugh. How? What is it? Does it tell me how?
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Authenticity and alignment and creative expression. Yeah.
I like
And then
that.
I don't know about you guys, but it gave me some affirmations.
No, it
Oh,
gave you
I didn't get that.
affirmations.
Yeah,
No, me
I'm gonna
neither.
write these down.
Oh my
I
gosh.
trust my
Oh,
inner urges to guide me toward my purpose.
I love
I
that.
give myself permission to rest and recharge after initiating. People take note. I am here to inspire and lead in my own unique way.
Yes, you are.
My wisdom grows with time.
Oh, I like that
And
I
one.
I
love
step into my role model energy with grace. Oh.
I like the last two a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, a lot.
Yeah.
That
I
You
is
are a
love
so
that.
cool.
visionary. You are a visionary with a gift for starting movements and inspiring others. Did I read this already? By balancing your need for independence and intentional communication and rest, you can show up as your most empowered, impactful self.
Aw,
I
That's
love
me,
that.
y'all.
I
So
like
what
that.
I'm gathering from that, Lupe, is that you're an introvert. You need time for
You
yourself
do.
to recharge.
I do. I
You
do.
do.
And for
Wow.
the longest, because I was a little social butterfly, I thought that that's what I needed. But and then I would
Mm,
get tired, but I didn't understand why.
that makes sense.
1000%. I
Mhm.
used to identify as an extrovert too, but I didn't really understand. I was also just functioning from a state of survival mode too.
Right.
But like I am also an introvert because I need that time to
Mhm.
recharge by myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. And then also the
Yeah.
one that stood out to me was the freedom to initiate. It's very
Mm.
interesting because
Mhm.
lately you've been asking on ways to initiate
Mhm.
without realizing that that is like a essential piece to what makes you you.
Mm-hmm.
right? To be able to then step into that role model energy and to really gain the wisdom that you need. So I'm putting a mental note there because that's what stood out to me where I was like, what are
Mm-hmm.
ways that we can make you step into that a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's going to help elevate you in many ways.
I have thoughts.
Of course you do. This is why I keep you, ladies. The one that stood out to me, which I think, like I had read this before, and I knew that like my profile's number 6 broke it down in phases.
Mhm.
And when I first read it, I was like, geez, I'm not gonna embody my inspiring full energy role model until I'm 50. And I'm like, that's so long from now. And but now reading that today, I'm like, I'm okay with it being then because I feel like there's still a lot for me to go through and experience right now. So I can't wait till I turn 50.
Yeah.
They
Oh my
say
God.
50 is the new 30. I don't know if they said
Yeah.
that. I'm just making that up.
We're gonna start
Hey,
that.
I think it is though, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, I love it. I love
It'll
it.
be so cool to see what's in store. So that way in the future, we look back at this episode and see what you've learned.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Oh, like a what is it called? Like a time what's it called?
Time capsule,
A
yeah,
time
type of thing,
capsule.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 That would be
Oh,
really
that'd be
cool. Yeah, well, this
fun.
video is one of those now. So,
Oh
Bookmark.
my God.
yes.
Yes, so
I like
cool.
that. Oh
Okay,
my.
who's next?
Edie's, do you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. So I am a projector, profile number with 3-5. Um, this is how I show up in the world based on what ChatGPT says. A projector energy type, you're here to guide others, not to work like energy types like generators or manifestors. Projectors are natural observers and visionaries who excel at seeing systems, patterns, and how others can improve their lives. The aura, because it gave me an aura. Your
Ooh.
aura is focused and observing, allowing you to deeply understand people. This makes others feel seen and recognized, which is why you're often sought out for advice and leadership. Waiting for
Mhm.
recognition. Success comes when you are recognized for your unique insights and invited to share your wisdom. Acting without an invitation can lead to frustration or feeling overlooked. That is very true. And I've learned that invitation doesn't necessarily mean people inviting you, but it's also about people being able to be in a place to receive the information. Because as a
Mm-hmm.
projector, we want to share out all that we know. And if the other person is not ready to receive, that's where the frustration can come up as. So that was something interesting that I learned when I used to study human design back in the day. So I thought that was a good reminder.
Yeah.
The line 3 or number 3 is the experimenter. Your life path is about trial and error. You learn by doing, making mistakes, and discovering what works and what doesn't. This makes you resilient and wise, though the process can sometimes feel messy or unpredictable. Yes, this is why I'm a surrender coach, y'all. Just saying. This is why I'm a surrender coach. And number
Love it.
5 is the problem solver. Others see you as a practical solution oriented leader. They project their hopes and expectations onto you, which means you often step into roles where you can save the day or guide people through a challenge, which I resonate a lot with because
Mm-hmm.
that's the energy that I have with my clients. That's like their feedback that's been given to me. And just thinking back to little Edie's, how she wants to save the world back in the day was through recycling. But
Oh.
I really was like, every time I learned something different, I'd be like, we have to save the world with recycling and Mother Earth. Yeah. So there's a lot of aspects of me where I want to save the world. And I recently actually learned that through my coaching program where she made us go really inwardly. And I was like, man, I want to save the world so bad, but I feel like I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I had that feeling too when I was teaching for a long time. So it's very interesting to see that come up. And then the combination, the profile makes you a dynamic blend of hands-on learning and a guide. While you're naturally experimenting and adapting, your ability to step in and solve problems makes you magnetic to others seeking support. So I thought that was really nice. I'm like, oh, I'm
Aw.
stepping into that, I guess, problem solver, though. I am a natural problem solver, but I am still finding my online community to do that with, though. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to feel your best is rest and energy management. I'm practicing that As a projector, you don't have a sustainability energy source like generators do. It's essential to honor your needs for rest and avoid burnout by managing your energy carefully. Overworking or pushing yourself leads to exhaustion. It's so true. Like, that's something I'm working on this year where I'm trying to give myself more permission for rest and not overwork because I'm unlearning the hustle mentality
Mhm.
because that, that's like a survival state of what I was so used to for such a long time. And now I'm kind of in this place where I am given permission to actually slow down and rest and to redefine what work looks like. And it doesn't have to be 8 hours. It could be 4 hours. It could be 3 hours for me now. So, and it can still be as productive. So I'm learning. I'm finally giving myself permission to do so.
I love it.
And recognition and invitation kind of goes back to everything that was said on our, rising and our moon and just the core, like our sun signs. Um, it's to thrive. You need to feel seen and recognized for your unique talents. Acting without recognition can feel frustrating or depleting. Cultivate patience and trust that the right invitation will come when you align with your authentic self. I really needed that reminder. I remember reading this and almost crying because I think I'm also in that stage in my life. And I'm saying this very vulnerably because I think that many people think that when you're in business or you're trying to build your own brand, that it comes easy to show up and for people to just recognize you right away. Because, when you're comparing, you're like, oh, this person got recognized already. And why haven't I been recognized? And so that's something that I've been trying to manage and also understanding now that my Leo moon needs that recognition so bad. I'm trying to have more grace and trust that the right people will see me. They'll honor what I have to offer and just kind of go with the flow on that. So that one's been a hard one though to really understand because I feel like I give a lot to the world. So when I'm not recognized, it's like a stab in the heart because then I'm like, oh, is this even worth doing still? Like, is it really important? But we got to keep going though. The Aries in me, we got to keep
It
going.
is important. It
It
is
is, it
important.
It is important, but I'm sharing vulnerably because I know there's a listener out there where it's like, oh, I resonate with you so much, but how do you keep moving forward? And I guess it's reminding ourselves that our aligned opportunities are out there. We just got to be patient and trust the process
Correct.
of that, though. The right people will see us. Healthy boundaries. Oh God, of course. With your
My
line
favorite.
5 energy, others may project your expectations onto you, which can sometimes feel overwhelming. Set clear boundaries to avoid taking on more than what you can handle and living up to unrealistic expectations, which is another thing I'm working on consistently because I am a natural problem solver and people come to me for a lot for advice, but it is true. So many people put a lot of expectations or think that I can handle it and it can be overwhelming. So I'm learning on how to set better boundaries every time.
Yeah.
But it's a good reminder that
Yeah.
once again, yeah, I feel like this is a reality check for me, y'all. Maybe that's why I'm like, oh, I have to read more. A focus on mastery. Projectors are designed to go deep, mastering a specific area of expertise. Invest time in developing your passions and honing your skills. This is where your guidance will shine the brightest. I'm learning that. And recognition on your unique flow. You're not here to hustle or conform to societal norms about productivity. Oh, shit.
I'm saying.
There it
Instead,
is.
honor your natural rhythm by focusing on relationships and systems that allow you to feel valued and aligned. Holy guacamole. That one hit me because that is actually my focus this year. Creating better systems, simpler systems, and redefining productivity, which is crazy.
Unconventional, meaning it doesn't have to be like everyone else.
Yes, it doesn't have to be. I know. I know. Sometimes I want to adapt, but yeah, no. We're building our own rhythm here. And to just sum it all up, as a projector, 3-5, your natural guide, teacher, and experimenter. Guys, I was also a teacher for 7+ years.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was a teacher.
cool.
You excel when you're invited to share your wisdom and lead, but you must manage your energy carefully to avoid burnout. Embrace trial and error as a path of mastery and establish healthy boundaries to protect your time and energy. Success for you comes from aligning with your authentic self, waiting for recognition, and trusting that the right opportunities will find you. Oh God, why?
Oh,
That was good. I needed that reminder.
that
Oh,
was so good.
Yeah, I love that.
that was so, so good. Yeah, I think I'm just in my field every time I see these things because I think I was telling Tati that earlier or when we were texting last night, that I felt like my human design was simplified in such a beautiful way. Because for
Mhm,
those of you who do follow human design, it can get very complicated.
mhm.
But it's nice to be able to put it on ChatGPT to simplify it and to really go into the needs or like as a guide of what you should be focusing on. So I definitely highly recommend for those of you who haven't done it, because this really brought me a lot of clarity, a lot of peace, a lot of acceptance, as to what needs to just be worked on moving forward. So
Yeah,
it was a
yeah,
good reminder.
I love that.
Yeah.
I know. I felt the same way when I did it. I feel like reading mine really gave me a sense of peace and like acceptance. Yeah, it really felt
Mhm.
good.
Go
So
ahead, Tati, your turn.
Yes,
I know.
tell
So
us, tell us.
funny enough, I am also a projector and I am also a 3-5. So
Twinsies, twinsies.
we are the same. But um I put in ChatGPT, I put in like my entire chart. So even though we are both projectors
Mhm.
and we are both a 3-5, we also have like differences in our like full chart. So
Yeah,
let
you
me
do.
look at mine. So I put in the same prompt as the one for like my sun,
Mhm.
rising, and moon. So it says how you show up in the world. So you are here, and I'm sorry if it says the same exact thing that Edie's just says. So I guess I don't have to read the projector one. Let's see. Um, I'll read it really quick.
Yeah.
So you're here to guide others and offer wisdom. Projectors excel in seeing systems and helping others navigate them, but you're not built to constantly hustle, which is exactly what Edie's just says. Your energy works best when focused on efficient rather than spread thin, which I feel like I'm already doing that. I literally love doing nothing. Like I love doing nothing. I work 3 days a week intentionally. I made my schedule to only work 3 days a week, and I love taking my days slow. Um,
Yeah.
and really just doing, when I say nothing, when I say like I love doing nothing, I just love like not having a bunch of things scheduled. So even though I might not technically be doing nothing, like I'm still, I don't know, like meditating, or I'm still like watching TV, or I'm still like going outside, like I'm still doing things, but I don't like having so many things scheduled. Um, so yeah, I'm
You
definitely
prefer to fill your cup.
I prefer to fill my cup. Like I can
A
take
good way.
like every single day to just nourish myself than do like what we're supposed to do.
No, I love that. That's such a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah, am working on that. So you're definitely goals for me.
So the strategy is wait for the invitation. Inner authority is self-projected. I don't know if you mentioned this one, 80s. Um, but it says your truth and direction come from your inner voice. Did you talk about that one, Edie's?
Actually, I did
I don't
not.
think you
No.
did.
Go ahead and dive on that one.
So it's short. It says speaking your thoughts out loud helps you align with your inner knowing. Surround yourself with people who let you express yourself freely without judgment. Um, so that's what it says about my inner authority. My profile is 3-5. So again, like Edie's, you're a natural experimenter who learns through trial and error, which I think is so funny because I think was it this week when we were all meeting? Or no, I think it was the text that we all had, Lupe, and you were talking about something, and I was like, oh, life is trial and error. And I thought that was so funny that it said that because I'm like, yeah, that's literally how I feel.
Yeah, how
I
do
feel
you
like
think?
everything
Yeah.
is trial and error.
Mhm.
But what you need to be your best self, success through alignment. Your signature of success comes when you honor your strategy and only say yes to aligned invitations. Stay
Mm.
focused on what lights you up rather than trying to prove yourself. Environment, mountains. You thrive in environments that
Oh,
provide a clear perspective. Yeah, like I love,
ooh.
and you know what's funny? Something that I strive for in my life is like this feeling of spaciousness. I always talk about this like feeling of
Mm.
spaciousness here, right? And like that's what I want to feel. And like I intentionally try to reach that feeling on a consistent basis, because and I feel like when it said environment and like mountains, I feel like thinking about mountains and even thinking about like we went hiking in Arizona a couple of years ago, and just literally sitting on top of those big rocks, like it just felt so spacious and so like, oh, like I just feel like that is where I thrive, or like seeing myself like, I don't know, like in a field and just like running, like freedom, spaciousness. I feel like that's something that I always think about when um you
We are
know,
so alike. I'm the same
really?
way. Yeah, because the Grand Canyon, when I had that surrender moment there, it was exactly that, that expansion, freedom,
Yeah.
wanting to crave that. I mean, that's why I want to go to Scotland and Ireland, is just literally to run the field. That's
Yes.
all I want. Like that. I'm being serious. Like, of course, and also go to a pub and have my, Guinness. Because I do enjoy a nice little Guinness, you guys. But
Mhm.
I just want to run. So when you said that, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I feel the same way. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's
Yeah.
so funny because on my vision board, I have a picture of a woman running, and her like the picture is of her back and she's kind of like running. And I chose that picture because to me it represented freedom and spaciousness, like just kind of like being free and like doing whatever you want. Like that is like my goal to feel like all of the time. I just love that feeling. So, yeah. So then it also says digestion is indirect. So it says your energy works best when you're not eating or working in the traditional daytime hustle mode. Pay attention to your energy rhythms and lean into what feels most natural, like eating later in the day or working during quieter periods, which I love, because I definitely do that. I never eat when I feel like I have to. Like I don't eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I have to. I always wait until like I'm hungry. And then in terms of like working, I hate working at a desk. I can't seem to focus when I bring my laptop on my table and I try to like be focused, or like I we have an office, like a
Mm.
home office, and I have a hard time working there. And the only time that I can like work and focus and get stuff done is when I'm on the couch and I put on like Real Housewives, but I mute it and it's just kind of like there in the background, but I like working on the couch. I feel like that's when like my creativity flows, which is, odd. Like I can't be at a desk. Um, and then motivation, it says guilt, and it says this doesn't mean feeling bad. It means you're motivated by a desire to make things better and help others improve their lives. Channel this motivation constructively rather than letting it become a burden. And then not self-theme, it says bitterness. If you're feeling unrecognized, overworked, or bitter, it's a sign you're out of alignment. Step back, rest, and recalibrate to focus on invitations that feel genuine. And then it says key channels and strengths. It says 20 to 10. I don't exactly know what that means. Yeah, so it says 20 to 10. It says the channel of awakening. I don't know if that like the numbers mean like the channel. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
it says you are deeply aligned with your individuality and self-expression. Staying true to yourself is key to inspiring others. And then it says 13 to 33, and it says you carry the energy of reflection and storytelling. You have wisdom to share from your experiences, especially in helping others heal and grow. And I thought that was interesting for me because the storytelling piece, I feel like I've kind of lost a little bit throughout the years. When I was younger, like in my college years, people would always say, this is actually really funny. People would say, "Have you ever thought of doing stand-up comedy?" And I was like, "No, I've never thought of doing stand-up comedy because of the way that I used to. I guess I don't know, seeing this makes me want to go back to the way that I used to kind of tell stories, but people would always be like, yeah, you have like a way of telling stories that is just, you know how like comedians or like people who do stand-up comedy, they like say something and they kind of bring it back full circle. Like you don't even know where they're going, and then eventually they bring it back to the point.
Wait, that's so true because
Yeah.
when we met up and you were telling us on how you and Marcin met, I feel like you were telling it in a like fun and
Yeah.
like the whole story was funny. Even though you probably could have said it like not in that manner, but I don't know if you said it like on purpose, but now it makes sense. You do tell stories like in a fun way.
That's so funny. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like, and you know what? I feel like I've kind of gotten away from that because I think I've gotten like negative feedback. People are kind of like, all right, Tati, like get to it, get, like
Gotcha.
I feel like people would get annoyed with me because I would
Mm.
let things go on and drag, and they're like, okay, what is the point of your story? So then I feel like I've kind of, yeah, kind of gotten away from it, but maybe that is my gift.
Bring it back. Bring
Yeah,
it
bring it
back.
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 Yeah, bring it back, bring it back,
Let me see if it says anything different from your big picture. Yeah, no, I feel like it says the same thing. So, yeah, it says you shine as a guide and teacher. And then I think success and fulfillment come when you align with your unique design and let your authentic self. I think that was very similar to yours. But yeah, no, that's so cool. I feel like it really does align. I feel like it describes, yeah, like who I am.
No, I love it. No, and plus it gives us now a better even sense of you. You like freedom. You want that spaciousness. So it's good. We'll have to keep supporting each other like that. So I think
Mhm.
again, this is such a great guide to understanding our themes, who we are at our core, and what we want for the future for ourselves as we keep evolving. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I love
Yeah,
it.
Definitely. I think
totally.
it helps with any relationship. Like if obviously our relationship here as us three, but also like with your partner or your friends or
Yeah.
someone that you work closely with. Like I think it's so helpful to understand them. I know back in the day what I wanted to learn more about was five languages of
Yeah,
Oh
like
love.
yeah,
five
sounds
love
a
So
good one.
that
languages.
helped me understand a lot of people. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, I get it. So I think this is more like a deeper
Yeah.
understanding too. So
No, I love it though. It's
Yeah.
so good. But like you said, Lupe, we can use this with anybody. So do this with your friends too. Do it with your partner
Yes.
if they're open to doing it, and just get to know people on who they are in their essence and core. Because I feel like that shifts the dynamic around too. So you guys can better support each other, like you said, Lupe.
Totally. I tried doing it with Marcin yesterday, but he gave me three different birth times, and I'm like, what time were you born? So he gave me three different results. I'm like, all right, where I'm giving up.
Yeah.
that's so funny.
Well,
Yes.
this was so great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for our community who was able to give us these questions, and we were able to use this time for you guys all to get to know us. And we definitely want to get to know you all. So please, again, go ahead and comment that on YouTube, Instagram, or DM us, whatever you feel most comfortable with, so that way we can see what you guys all have to offer. But again, thank you all so much for your love, for your support. May we continue to just be authentic, show up the way we need to, accept what comes through, and allow yourself to release what no longer serves you so you can receive whatever it is that you need in that very moment. But yeah, y'all, remember, we're all in this together. We're transforming each and every day. And remember to stay lit, and we'll catch you guys all in our next episode. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today on Lit Podcast. We hope this conversation has ignited a spark within you so that you keep embracing your journey.
Remember, transformation takes time, but every step brings you closer to the life you're meant to live. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share, and leave a review.
Let's continue this journey together. Until next time, stay lit and keep transforming.